What's up guys, I'm Josh Mosiman and welcome to This Week in MXA, episode number 134, presented by O'Neill Racing. Thank you guys for tuning into this video. Washougal National is about to be taken over by Two Strokes. It's gonna be a lot of fun this weekend and we have a lot to talk about what happened at Millville. Let's dive into it. Starting off with the 450 class, it is super cool to see history in the making with a guy like Jett Lawrence, rookie in the 450 class, winning every single moto. However, it's not super cool if he does it so easily. And that's why it was really cool that Chase Sexton ran him down in the first moto at the Millville National. Awesome to see Chase getting back up to speed and getting the fitness back after missing 3 rounds early in the season due to a concussion. And he also talked about having mono and being sick in that press release that talked about his injury. So Chase Sexton took a hard hit at the beginning of the summer. Obviously he's the 450 Supercross champion, so did so well earlier in the year and survived a long season, got hurt at the beginning of the outdoors, and now he's trying to claw his way back up to the top of the ranks. Well, he looked to be doing that at Millville. He finally challenged Jett Lawrence in the first moto, caught him from further back, crashed at the early first lap of the moto, crashed later in the moto, but still kept him honest. Second moto, unfortunately, slid out, letting Jett Lawrence get by him early in the race, and then he caught back up to Jett and then tucked the front end in a fast sweeping section right after the starting line early on, and that allowed the Jett to get an early moto lead, an comfortable moto lead, and 2 more moto wins to his name. Jett Lawrence is incredible. I'm a huge Jett Lawrence fan and a huge Chase Sexton fan. Both of them are awesome riders, but man, it is much more exciting when we see a battle at the front of the class, and that's why I'm looking forward to Washougal this weekend. Chase Sexton broke Eli Tomac's 8-race win streak last year at the Washougal National. They flip-flopped motos. Eli won the first one, Chase won the second one, and Chase got the overall win, and he broke that streak. That means that Chase Sexton has a lot of confidence at Washougal. He's also talked in the post-race press conference and other interviews after the race that he's feeling more confident. He's feeling more like himself. His body is recovering better in between motos and after the races. So things are looking up for Chase Sexton to be battling with Jett Lawrence this weekend at Washougal. Chase also talked about liking Washougal, Unadilla, Budds Creek, and Ironman, the 4 other tracks that we have on the schedule. So Washougal is round 8. It's only 11 rounds this year. We're not going back to Paulette for the season finale. So a couple weeks off after Washougal. It's going to be a 3-week break. I think all these things are lining up for a good run from Chase Sexton, but it'll be a lot better if Chase can get a moto win at Washougal. That'll help build up his confidence for those last 3 rounds to make things more exciting. Obviously, Jett Lawrence, he's on a roll. He doesn't want to get beat now. Also, I got to give a big shout out to my buddy Shane McGrath. He bought a 2023 Yamaha YZ 450F just 2 weeks after he won his race in Millville, the World Supercross in the 250 class. He showed up at Millville and didn't win, but he rode awesome. He didn't go 1-1, he went 11 in the first 450 moto. So really impressive, Shane McGrath. But the coolest part, it was on a bone stock bike. You don't see this happening. You don't see guys racing bone stock bikes in the 450 class. You see privateers on stock engines all the time. You see people with stock components here and there. But for a guy like Shane McGrath, former factory rider, current rider for the Rick Ware Racing team for the World Supercross season, for him to buy a stock bike, he put a Works Connection Pro Launch device on, ODI grips on, some grip donuts, and that was it. And he went racing. He didn't even put a gripper seat cover on there, which is like the #1 thing you need on a Yamaha because it's so fast. But man, impressive. Shane McGrath, stock suspension, stock engine, stock muffler, got 11th in that first moto, was caught up in that start crash in the sand rollers on the first lap with Jason Anderson, and DNF the second moto, but excited to see him at Washougal this weekend. Also, his Rick Ware Racing World Supercross teammate is Colt Nichols. Colt is actually on a Cowie 450 because the Rick Ware Racing team doesn't have any OEM affiliations. They can ride whatever bike they want. Colt Nichols is also racing Washougal this weekend, so excited to see both of them there representing Rick Ware Racing and doing more than just Supercross this summer. The 250 class was exciting as well. Hunter Lawrence was out for a vengeance and redemption. I guess redemption would be a better word. Redemption after 2 DNFs. The second moto at Redbud with that first turn crash. First moto at Southwick with his bike DNF. Then he got an 8th in the second moto at Southwick, so uncharacteristic finish for Hunter Lawrence. In the first moto at Millville, he passed his way past all of his championship competitors to easily, or not easily, but comfortably win the first moto at Millville, and in the second moto he was leading all the way until he slid out with just a couple laps to go, allowing Justin Cooper to get the win, and Hunter went on to finish second. It's kind of funny. He talked about lap riders being to blame for his crash. Obviously he did have to deal with a ton of lappers, and there was a lapper near him when he crashed, but Ricky Carmichael kind of pointed it out in the post-race highlight video. Hunter Lawrence was all by himself. You know, he had a few feet of gap to the next lap rider when he tucked the front end on those last laps, but still impressive stuff. Can't be too hard on that lap rider at least. And Hunter Lawrence still has a 13-point lead in the championship now. He regained the red plate in the points lead after Hayden Deegan, I believe, went 5'10" in the 250 class. So tough day for Hayden, but for him to have a red plate in his rookie season, to be winning races, to be up front like he is, it's only going to make him faster, only going to make him more confident than he already is. And I'm excited to see how he bounces back at Washougal this weekend. So now, two strokes. Washougal National this weekend is going to be an exciting one. Washougal is kind of synonymous with two strokes because they have the 125 Dream Race up there. They do a lot of, you know, kind of two-stroke events up at Washougal. So for this race to have money on the line for the 450 class, for the top placing two-stroke, it just naturally fits. And we got to say a big thank you to the guys over at Moto Memes, the Instagram page. I can't promote their content, and I can't say I agree with everything they do or promote, but some of it is really funny. And the coolest part is that they're putting up money for this weekend at the Washougal National. They put up $5,000 for the top placing two-stroke in the 450 class. After they did that, Jett Lawrence and Jettson Donuts put up $5 grand, and also Motorsport Hillsboro, they put up $5 grand as well. So Motorsport, Jettson Donuts, Moto Memes, 15 grand to the top placing two-stroke, and then KTM, they jumped in and said they'll pay an extra 5 grand if that top placing two-stroke is on a KTM, Husky, or Gas 250 two-stroke. So you can't race at 300 in this class this weekend. We just did our video on the 2024 300 two-stroke the other day, and I talked about it in there. You have to stay within that 250cc displacement limit for the 450 class. It's kind of a bummer. It would be really cool if you could race at 300 in that class. So AMA, hopefully they'll change the rules eventually someday. But still, cool stuff. Washougal, they also put up 3 grand for the second best two-stroke in the 450 class and 2 grand for the third best placing two-stroke in the 450 class. A lot of riders coming out to do it. Carson Brown, he's raced Washougal on a 250 two-stroke the last few years in a row. He's been extremely fast. Top 20 finishes, top 20 speed on his YZ 250 two-stroke last year. He's racing a YZ 250. Matt Burkeen, he's been racing all the races this summer. He's a buddy of ours. He's been posting videos all summer long on his YZ 250. He's making the trek out here for Washougal. Also, Anthony Rodriguez, he's a World Supercross rider for MDK. He's racing a KTM 250 two-stroke this weekend. Kevin Moran's, he's got a KTM 250 two-stroke also, and gonna be exciting. Jerry Robin, he's riding a Vital MX YZ 250 two-stroke this weekend, I believe, as well. So cool to see all those guys out there on two-strokes. I'm sure there'll be a few more that I've missed, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. Marvin Muscan, he talked about it, he thought about it, but unfortunately he's not gonna be there. And otherwise, Washougal, it's going to be a fun one to watch in the two-stroke class. I'm bummed I won't be racing it this weekend after racing 3 rounds on 3 different bikes at the first 3 races of the year. This summer, man, I'm still burnt out. I think I'm still recovering from those 3 races. We got a lot of work going on. 2024 bikes are rolling down the pipeline. Like I mentioned, we tested that 300 video. We also got the KTM 450 we just tested recently, and I'm getting ready to travel to Europe twice in this next month. I'm going to Italy for the Gas event, coming back here, training riders at the Panic Rev Christian Motocross Camp at Lake Elsinore. So you can still get signed up for that if you're interested in coming training with me and a couple other guys. 3 days of fun at Lake Elsinore. I'm looking forward to it. And that's after Italy, but before I go to Austria to tour the KTM factory and race in Austrian National. So lots to look forward to. Busy times for MXA, but I won't be at Washougal, but we're sending Trevor Nelson, MXA's digital editor, to capture all the two-strokes and all the action from Washougal this weekend. Another note for Washougal, we are giving away a $150 shopping spree to the player who wins our MXA Fantasy League this weekend. If you're not signed up already, you can get signed up for free on our website and enter your picks for your Fantasy League team this weekend at Washougal. You get 3 450 riders, 3 250 riders. We give you 50 grand to pick those riders. The riders are priced based on how they've been doing lately and how we think they'll do this weekend at Washougal. So motocrossactionmag.com to get signed up. Blud Lubricants, $150 shopping spree to the player who selects the riders who score the most points this weekend at Washougal. So Fantasy League, get signed up. Also, the player who has the most points at the end of the 11-round series wins a brand new Beta 300 RX 2-stroke motocross model with FMF pipe and silencer. Pretty awesome prizes that you can win just by playing for free on our website. Check it out, motocrossactionmag.com. So Washougal is round 8 of the Pro Motocross series. We have a 3-week break after this, like I already mentioned. This is about the time when we start talking to riders about Motocross of Nations. And one big news note that I have to tell you guys about is Justin Cooper. He is not on the short list for racing Motocross of Nations this year, even though he won the 250 class at Redbud last year. Why is that? His wedding day is scheduled that very same weekend. So this weekend it is October 8th in Ernay, France. That's the Motocross Destinations this year. Well, it's 2 weeks later than Motocross Destinations was last year, probably due to the Super Motocross Championship scheduling that we have here. It's 2 weeks after the season finale, which will be in Los Angeles, of the Super Motocross playoffs. Well, that date correlates with Justin Cooper's wedding day, and him and his fiance have a big day planned that they're not able to move around. So pretty wild that we won't be seeing Justin Cooper there unless he decides to change his wedding day, which I haven't heard that yet. So that begs the question, who should we send in the 250 class and who should we send in the 450 class as we look ahead to Motocross Destinations? Talking more about 2-strokes and money prizes, Pasha is giving away money at Glen Helen for his upcoming race at August 19th at Glen Helen on the main track. They're racing on Saturday. I'm excited to be there racing. He's giving away money in the 150 class and in the open class for 250s, 300s, and more. It's gonna be fun. I also did some racing with the rest of the MXA wrecking crew. We had our vet test riders, our endurance test riders with us. Josh Fout was busy, Dennis Stapleton was busy, the rest of the crew was busy, but I was out there with our vet crew and we were testing. I was riding the 2024 KTM 450, getting ready for the Austrian National that I mentioned coming up in just a couple weeks. Here's some footage of how my racing went with the crew of guys on Saturday.
Hey guys, good day. I rode the 24 KTM 450. We got Luke, Ernie, Crosby. Ernie, how was it today? Hot. Hot? Yeah. How hot? What was you hot? South Africa hot. South Africa hot. All right, we got a lot of KTMs out here today. We're getting ready to give back our Cowies and our Yamahas and switch them out for new bikes. Hondas as well. We got a Honda CRF 250 here, another gas. Good day. I got a flat in the first moto. Randall, thank you for changing it for me.
No worries.
Good. What was the track like for you today?
The track is great. I actually like the layout. Yeah, a little dusty, but they wanted the best they could. And then I took Jody out, obviously, because he keeps making me ride these really bad bikes.
Oh my gosh. You were having fun?
I was having so much fun.
He was riding the 2023 Husky FE Enduro bike.
So fun.
And now Dan's out there on it right now.
Yeah.
You were having fun on it.
I had a great time on it. Super trackable, lots of traction, just puts it to the ground, no hit.
And then he was lapping Jody and took him out.
Yeah. A little bit of soft. It's a little soft, but you know, super fun.
All right. Good day. Saturday at the Glen, awesome track. My motos were good. First one was battling with Enzo Timmerman. He's a good rider. He's an amateur intermediate rider. He's on a 450 Cowie today. Battled with him, and I ended up sliding out, tucked the front end, ended up third in that one. And then the second one, I got the whole shot, battled with Timmerman again, and then held him off for a little bit, and then he got me. I was a little pooped out. So fun stuff though. He was in the 450 intermediate class, and technically I still won the pro class, but he got my number today. But good turnout. Richard Taylor was riding good, Colton Eck, Jake Alvarez, good group of guys, Preston Tilford, Saturday at the Glen, fun time.
All right guys, thank you for tuning in to This Week in MXA, episode number 134. Thank you guys for checking in at Motocross Action Mag on Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay up to date with what we got going on.